like a very happy person.
Usually these people are very broken one.
Yeah.
Okay, where do I begin? How come Singaporeans don't know how to be happy?
Don't know.
This is your daily catch-up.
Shut up.
Boom.
Hi everybody, if you're enjoying the daily catch-up, drop us a comment, ring the notification bell. Who's that guy that always comment Algo?
Ben Wong!
Congratulations! Okay.
We see you.
Yes, comment for the Algo everybody.
We
Like,
see
share,
you.
subscribe. Welcome Pat, who is the new Dan.
Hi.
Just kidding. Dan is in Malaysia, he'll be back. Don't worry guys, the real host will be back next time, okay?
Hey, I'm not real, man.
No, she's
I'm
she's
the
explaining herself. Yeah. A bit sensitive. Today's topic is about
ABS.
sensitive.
Okay, so today we are talking about happiness, guys. Are you happy? You shake your head. Okay, we'll unpack
Damn
that.
demoralizing to be a husband, I tell you.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll unpack that. So,
Okay.
so there was a survey that was done where respondents were asked to evaluate their life happiness on a 10-point scale. So the average that Singaporeans answered was 6.23.
It feels about
which is
right.
quite happy. But then, so the purpose of the study was basically to identify factors which we can affect in order to improve on our happiness. So there are certain things that we cannot change, right? But then, so what are certain things that we can change? So they actually identified 5 things.
Wait. 6.23 across the board compared to other countries, is it good?
Do you know we're number 1 in Southeast Asia? We're the
are?
number 1 happy country in Southeast Asia.
No, we beat
cannot-
the land of smiles.
Who is
Oh,
that?
where?
Thailand.
Oh,
we beat the land
no,
of
no.
smiles.
Oh, wow.
You'll be
Oh.
surprised.
How
No, I
very
remember
happy,
there was
meh?
one year that Singapore was very, very unhappy, and then it made global headlines. And then the following year, Singapore's happy index went up by a few points.
Yeah,
Wait,
they
how
pay
do
money,
we just don't want
they
to
pay money
lose?
to change the stats.
But currently, globally, we are ranked 31st out of 153 countries.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, Finland is the happiest.
Finland.
Because they no homework.
What? Really?
I think they 4 days work week also.
Huh.
They're
Sounds
setting
like,
that already.
sounds like a happy place.
Yeah, we can be happier.
No, I wish you the very best.
You also can be happier.
Yes,
Yeah. If I'm not wrong,
surprising,
Thailand
man.
six.
Like Singapore very happy, man. Do you all feel like Singaporeans are generally very happy?
No, I thought you were gonna say we are number 1 from the bottom.
No, we are number 1. I think number 2 is Thailand. Yeah.
Yeah, we gamed it. I think we just don't want to lose. Because I feel like
sad.
Singapore is in a position of privilege within Southeast Asia, right? That the first time it came out that Singapore was one of the unhappiest countries in the world, right? Like a lot of the neighboring countries made memes about Singaporeans being just very unhappy to be in Singapore.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think like people like myself got very sensitive.
What?
They're a bit tashuk. that you know gonna make fun of for being.
So you become even
not
more
happy.
unhappy.
He's
So,
very
yeah.
patriotic one.
So I forced myself to be happy.
Which technically can work, right? You think you can force yourself to be
I feel like if
You
on the
can.
street someone come and like, oh, we just want to rate the national happiness level. Can you give me 1 to 10? I'll just go 10, just to bring out the average.
No, but they ask you.
Yay.
So basically, the survey, they will ask you like, how good is your life? Such a thing. Then you rate out of 10. So they have a list of questions. Then they find
Right.
the average out of all the answers.
Okay.
Do you all like read those like when you see an article about let's say COVID or anything like, about the government talking something right to Singapore? Then I will go and read all the comments on Facebook, right? All of them all very unhappy on it. Then I'm like why are you
No,
all so
but
sour
anything
about
talking
life?
about government is automatic unhappy though.
No, maybe even if government give money, like give you $150. Then they will find something to say one. They'll be like, you only give more money to those who are poor. What about those middle income not getting enough? I'm like, but it's never enough for anybody.
No, but those are the people that
She
have
also
nothing
kena
better to do with their
brainwashed
life, and that's
Yeah.
why they are in the comment section.
But a lot of them they like
I
read
feel
all,
like it's the same 100 people. over and over again. Yeah.
Is that Raymond Ong?
Peter.
Then he gonna call out with stress. Yeah, so they actually identified 5 things that affect most people's happiness. So sexual orientation, income, sense of purpose, perseverance, and also social support network.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you rank perseverance? Like, what's the question?
Oh, I don't know what's the
Do
question. that they
you
asked.
persevere?
No, I think how perseverant you are affects your
Oh my god,
happiness.
is that a word?
Yeah,
Wait, perseverance is what?
like how much you can continue trying at one thing.
It
even though
sounded
you
damn
fail.
stupid, but
No.
I roughly know. But then at the same time, it's like if you can persevere,
I think they're trying to measure grit. Yeah, which is a
Resilience.
Singapore
Oh.
buzzword.
then why they use the word perseverance?
Yeah,
How long you can tahan?
Wait, I need to
Yeah.
see this.
How much you can tahan.
Okay. Then the last one?
Yeah. Then the last one is strong social support
Social support.
networks. Yeah, but so I was thinking about like the am I happy question, right? And I feel like a lot of my happiness I peg to work. So it's like
we talked about that.
yeah. So it's like is it because I feel like if I don't feel like I'm doing much at work, or if I don't feel productive in a sense, then then I feel very useless, or then that I feel like might decrease my happiness. Yeah. What do y'all think? But do y'all think we pack too much of our happiness to work?
But
Yes.
that's like 80% of our time. That's why we pack our work to happiness.
But there are people that can separate though, like the 9 to 5, then after they really relax.
Okay, I'm a 9 to 5.
I feel like I'm almost there. Eh?
Really,
No?
man? You
I
in
feel like I'm almost there.
you in the toilet also writing for your NFT
But
though.
the past year was a journey of me distancing myself. Like to not think about work after work.
But do you think that has increased your happiness level?
Yes.
Yes, I can vouch to that.
Oh.
Yes.
He
That's why I
really
keep
is
repeating
happier.
it on this podcast especially. I feel like the third time we're covering this already. Don't pick your happiness to work. Because I cannot control what happens at work. If you're not happy, you want
You
to quit.
cannot,
It could be
man.
it could be 10 million reasons you want to quit. But then for me, I used to feel it very personal. You know what I mean?
Right, okay.
Like, not that you betray me in a sense, but we didn't create a place good enough for people. Like, I used to be quite offended at... Not used to be. Not quite offended. I'm very sad. I was very sad, right, when in a cut, right, in a farewell cut, I remember Marie's farewell cut, the suits wrote, like, congratulations on graduating. Really is no harm one, you know? It's just really no harm one. But it just feels like, f*** me, we are kindergarten, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it made me very sad. Yeah.
But me, it's nice though to see them move on to the next thing, right?
I'm happy for them. Yeah, I'm happy for them. It's just how do the people here perceive being here?
right.
Yeah. Do you feel like you need to graduate, or you graduate to come here? You know what I'm saying?
But from each place you go, you graduate from there and go to the next place, what? No, meh?
That's why I said like everything feels very personal to me.
Ah.
Like when I couldn't separate myself from work. No, you're just happier now.
I think work from home. Right?
Maybe. No lah, not really. Work from home give me a lot of anxiety, to be honest. Anyway, back to your
Yeah.
this slow pace of shit.
Wait, I want to go back to perseverance.
Oh yo!
So perseverance, right, is the persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. Yeah, which to me, right, is something that we like because of social media and all the content we consume, right? It's just something that we are not wired to really do anymore. Like delayed gratification is something that is like damn impossible for most people, right? Like whatever you're doing, if you're a bit sian only, or you feel that like lack of, you need a dopamine boost, right? Then you just whip out your phone, you faster scroll through TikTok, right? Then you hi already, then you go and do something else.
Yeah.
I think that's a very big problem, eh. So
There's something I read that I like from Simon Sinek, Dan's favorite. Shout out to Dan. Is that humans severely overestimate what we can accomplish in the next 1 year and severely underestimate what we can accomplish in the next 10 years. Like we always tell ourselves by next year, by end of the year, we must have been promoted, we must have 100k, we must have this 200k, 500k, or must have this investment portfolio. Yet we are not willing to start something for the next 10 years because we feel like, oh my god, that goal's just too lofty. You know?
As in, we are too short-sighted.
In that sense. And so what that feels like is every year you disappoint yourself.
Right.
Not knowing that you can have a bigger, loftier goal 10 years from today, which actually is more reachable than your very lofty 1 year goal.
Right.
I was reading up on quite a bit of like positive side, right, because of this episode also, and it's actually found that we have a very horrible estimation of how happy we are. Like our day-to-day things that happen in life, right? We feel that they are as in we feel like we are super happy today because this thing happened, and after that we feel like we are not. But actually, right, we are back judges of that, and our happiness actually doesn't change much aside from like large life events such as death of a spouse. Yeah, for example.
But then again, how important is happiness as a metric of what a good lived experience should be, right? Like what your life should be and whether it's good or not. It's not all happiness. Right? There are so many other things. It's important to feel sorrow. It's important to feel challenge.
Hey, congratulations on graduating.
But you know what I mean? Like happiness is just one emotion out of everything else, the whole spectrum that human beings are supposed to experience.
Right.
But I think it's the biggest part of your life that you need to be happy in order to do all the other things, to feel all the other things. Like if you never gone through being very happy, right? Like I don't know. I think at least 80% of your life, right? The other expression don't matter. Like you are sad lor, sad for one day lor. Then you thought next day you can be happy again, right? But if you are already unhappy with your life, you feel sorrow for a period of time, right? There are people who like maybe somebody die, right? They cannot move out of it, and then they depressed, and then it's like happiness never come back because they never had it to begin with.
But then, this is her mindset, which is why it really eats her up.
Right.
She really thinks like that.
No, but then I think, right, it's because we are clumping everything under one broad term, which is happiness. But you could be looking at accomplishment. You could be looking at like closure. There are so many other emotions to it on that. Yeah. But then happiness, but we just like put it all under there. Then it becomes very confusing. There's this concept called Ikigai, which we found like earlier lah. Yeah. Have you heard of it before?
Yeah, I think so.
So it's these like 4 circles that overlap. Then if they see all 4, you can overlap. You have found Ikigai.
So it basically means like you find like your purpose, or like that's you feel fulfilled lah. So the 4 things that you need is what you love intersects with what you're good at, intersects with what you can be paid for, and intersects with what the world needs. I mean, okay, I personally disagree with the last circle, which is the what the world needs. Like, I don't think I need to find something that has a social mission or has a greater good to make me happy.
I disagree with you there.
Disagree.
Ooh.
The moment you have all 3, then you'll be on the hunt on the 4th. Because
Because
like
it's the
True.
self-actualization part.
yeah,
True. But we are hardwired to be
insatiable.
not perfectly content, because it's adaptable. It's a thing that it's an evolution thing. Yeah, like it's an adaptive feature that we have to not be, because right, the delusion that we have, right, that things can get better, or that this innocence, like self-pursuit of happiness and all that, right, is what keeps us striving, keeps us improving.
I think our
So if we are
generation
perfectly
kena
content,
some
we'll be
of the worst.
losers.
Like our generation was the one that like, everything need to have meaning.
Yeah.
Your generation is like a better balance of practicality.
Yeah. Like I always look at those like American documentaries and all that stuff, right? Where they just assemble cars at the manufacturing line. Then they just
Losers.
no, they're just happy lor. Like lunch break, their wife got make them a sandwich.
Wait, what?
Bento.
Yeah,
like
as
bento
wives
box.
should, yeah.
Yeah. Then they just happy lor. Then lunch break, they just like talk with their friends. Then just go back and do the mindless things. I mean, if your passion is automobile, it cannot be you just like to screw tires on a car. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the job. Then they just finish work. Then they go back. When they see their children, it's like there's so much bliss in that, which we will never get.
That's because money is not what they're chasing, right? No, man.
Don't you think that there are a bunch of people that have a very low expectation of life?
Yeah.
And they are,
Is
to
that
me, they are
bad?
like settlers. Or
And
like,
I feel like they are evolved beyond us.
Or he thinks it is below.
why?
I feel like they will reach a level of contentment that you will never reach.
Yeah.
Yeah, but their contentment maybe like the feeling is like that only, like 40%.
But
Was there
100
somebody
years
that can-
later, for the both of you're just gonna die,
Yeah, but then if it's only 100 years, aren't you going to try and like fully
But
Maximize.
for what?
in like experience life lah for what it actually is lah?
Are you experiencing more life, or are they experiencing more life?
I think if you can push yourself and gain those opportunities, you'll be able to experience more of life than those people. Like, can you imagine
we look at,
somebody
let's say you start a Silicon Valley startup, right? multi-billion dollars, and then you just got a lot of money at 30 years old, then you just retire with $1 billion in the bank. Like, I feel like the life that you will experience is arguably the same amount of life as someone that will constantly seek, like, just have happiness and contentment for the rest of their lives. You know what I mean?
No way, I feel like you'll be trapped in a small bubble of limited experience. And
But
then
okay lah.
you will stop exploring the stuff that you don't know. Versus
Yeah.
somebody who is throwing themselves out there constantly into discomfort, right? And then because of that, experiencing things that other people will never get to experience, living different, almost like living multiple lives,
But for what?
Yeah, for what? Now
If not, then what else you gonna do? You're gonna do the exact same thing for the next 60 years of your life, man. Like,
But
sian sia.
the job is what's constant.
No,
like
like
your
the
life
work
is
aside, I'm
not
talking about like in
constant.
general. Like
Right.
not just tagging this to work. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. But like in my situation, I'm trying to dissect things. I'm trying to throw away things to see if I can be happier.
Marie Kondo.
Yeah, like I'm really trying to throw away things. Like I have many experiences, and I feel that I don't regret going to any of it.
Yeah.
I
You
really
shouldn't,
learned a
shouldn't
lot.
regret,
I don't regret. I learned a lot from all the experiences, right? But now is in the pursuit of happiness.
I mean, like so based on my readings also, right? And shout out Deanna who sent me this article. So
Your friend.
she talking about this Why are you doing this?
sorry.
So anyway, where was I? No, I'm talking about happiness.
Don't piss her off while she's talking about happiness, guys.
So there's this thing, right, called the hedonic treadmill. So basically, we work very hard to reach a goal, anticipating the happiness that it will bring. But ultimately, right, it's a very fleeting happiness, and then we become unhappy, and then we think that we become unhappy again. So we need to start chasing the next thing, anticipating that happiness that it will bring. So it's just this never-ending cycle, right? But then you never reach it, one. Yeah. So then back to his question on like, should happiness be that end goal? Yeah. Then I've been seeing like articles that are talking about how we need to find things that matter instead, because things that matter, right, might not make you happy all the time, right? Like John mattered to you, but maybe sometimes John made you angry, right? But then
still.
Doesn't happen.
yeah. But because you love him, then that like, I wouldn't say that happiness is still there. That fulfillment, that contentment is still there, or like that enrichment in your life is still there. So yeah, that's why like whether or not your work makes you happy, right? That might not be the only important emotion to look at in your work.
Okay, you taking advice from a 24-year-old?
Okay, then I also give some.
He said his mind feels like a 24-year-old. Just now he tell me.
This is thing that. No, but like even on her point, right? Like a lot of people keep looking at the goal, assuming that that's the what's going to give you happiness, right? So we function in a society that's a lot of you sacrifice and then for this reward, and then you keep doing this pattern. But what that actually does is that it's actually very unhealthy, because your current perception is that you must suffer in order to gain something at the end. And this constant reward system, right, is like it can be applied to anything. Like if I study for half an hour, I get to reward myself to TV for like 15 minutes. Okay, sorry, that was this like 90s lah. But yeah,
but that's what my mother tell me though when I was young.
Same. Yeah, but it's this constant pattern that's actually super unhealthy, because what we are doing is that this is based on a book, right? Some dopamine shit. So it's actually is unhealthy because it leverages on a dopamine spike that you are seeking for, and what happens is the dopamine spikes are very, very high. At all other times, right, besides the reward time, right, you are actually functioning on a dopamine deficit, which means that you're constantly feeling unhappy, and then you're trying to figure out what that is. Then you keep seeking the next reward, and then because like goes back to like just now what we were talking about, right, the perseverance thing, right? Because it's very hard and takes very long to get to that big spike, so you find smaller spikes to try to fill up that gap. Yeah, and then that's where you get sucked into like TikTok and shit.
Hey, what's wrong with TikTok?
So the writer was actually talking about how this is the way we work, and then they were questioning how can we remove it. Stop using rewards. Instead, focus on your experiences and being present, and don't keep looking for happiness. Experience. And then as you experience, there will be times where there will be events that bring you happiness. But there will also be many, many other events that bring you other emotions. But for the most part, right, like she concluded that you are overall not going to feel actually as happy or happier than your existing state. But the experiences that are brought to you are going to be stuff that you don't know, that you don't seek. So for example, if I already know the reward that I'm searching for, I'm just going to keep on doing what I need to do, sacrifice in order to get the reward. But I'm never going to experience different types of rewards, different types of happiness, until I'm able to achieve that whole state of presence and shit.
But that's a very interesting point that you brought out, like different types of happiness. Like I used to derive a lot of my happiness on whether I'm able to bring joy to the people around me. Yeah, and that I always thought was a very good trait. I always thought was like I'm proud of myself that this is where I derive joy, like one of my sources, and I thought was a 90% of my sources of joy, right? And then I realized, no lah, people will come and go in your life, and they are meant to be at your life at that time and in that space, and then that's it. Yeah, and you hinge your happiness on that, and all of it just on that. And then when that's gone, I didn't just lose my happiness, I lost my sense of purpose. I lost trust in myself, in what is, like, what do you think you live for?
I feel that I can relate to what he just mentioned. Like, I spoke to many people, and all the advice is, hey, at the end of the day, you get a pay, what? Then your salary comes in, that's where it makes you happy already. You just think of your salary or what you can do with the money, and you can like buy food and eat with your friends.
Prejudge.
Yeah, so then I'm like, okay, like I trying to reframe now and think, and like you know, at the end of the day, I still have a house. I can go and eat. I can go and buy things, but it doesn't make me happy still. Like that reward, right, is not rewarding enough for me to feel happy. I feel that being good at what you do is a very fulfilling thing. So when I keep changing jobs, right, it makes me feel that, am I lousy at my job? How come I cannot succeed in staying here and be the best? You know?
But then so when you look back, right, what is your reason for changing job?
I think sense of belonging also. Like back then when I was with one company, right, I really built a family there. And then people started leaving. Because maybe they were there for 10 years already, and then they need to seek greener pastures, right? Then I just keep pegging to that experience, right? I want to have that again. But everywhere I go, then COVID hit. Then you stay at home. Then now...
Everywhere I go, COVID.
Yeah, then COVID hit.
It definitely makes things harder lah.
It really makes things harder. There's no bonding. There's nothing. Like, you don't even know how your colleague look like. Maybe once in a while you turn on the video, but actually you don't need to turn on one, so nobody will turn on.
Yeah.
So I tell you what it looks like from my lens, okay? She do have friends in the company, friends that treat her as friends also, and they are all doing difficult things and struggling together. And then they are, I would like to think, quite well remunerated also. Benefits good, way better than here. Like make me feel damn sorry for the shit that we have here.
Is that
Right.
why nothing changing? No, kidding.
Hey, wow, ouch.
kidding. Hey, no, don't associate your work with your.
Yeah, and I think that there's an age within your 20s, right, where you and your friends, no matter how good spirited you are, right, you are low-key competing. You know, like, oh, you got job, or your salary is this amount, you got a new car, you know, where you live. And even down to fashion, whether you got nicer clothes or more expensive clothes. And then there comes a certain point which I think we have hit within our early 30s, right? Where nobody gives a f***er. Yeah, like I have a friend I met in reservist, and he does food delivery for Foodpanda. He makes good money, eh. He makes damn comfortable living. And that's it lor. Like what do you do? Oh, I quit that job, eh. I do Foodpanda now because it pays better. Okay lah. Fair enough, you're going to live your life afterward, you know? Like you come to a point where you stop competing, and it's hard to relate or understand when it's just 2 years ago for me that I won't be able to tell myself nobody cares until you are in that stage where really nobody cares. Whatever you think you have accomplished that you are proud of, right? Nobody gives a so.
Yeah, I agree. I know nobody cares. And I'm also trying to look for the simple.
we can. Don't worry.
Thanks for caring. But I'm trying to look for the simple life, you know, contentment. For a period of time, right, when I'm a bit unhappy for about, maybe it's still about a year already.
It's been rough, fam.
Then I even thought of like taking pay cuts, right, to just find fulfilling jobs. I go and see like Make-A-Wish Foundation. I go and see like a lot of things, really a lot of different things.
Which pays not bad actually, you'll be surprised.
Yeah, so and he's very supportive.
No, then why you never?
I don't know. I think first of all, I don't have the experience also. Because like at age 32, right, you tell people you have been in banks and not relevant one. Like to go there and be what? Like what can you do? Go and coordinate events. But I never coordinate events before. I do product. So they don't have a product ma. To them it's just a system or whatever.
But does it matter though? Like starting at a lower level or like a more entry level, if you are changing.
Does it not matter to you?
I don't think it matters. I think there are ways to bring over some, but obviously you're still learning a whole new field, right? So then, like if you're okay with that, right, at the end of the day, you're trying to find what's the next thing that you're going to be doing for the next 5 to 10 years, ma. And that's going to be your life, eh. Versus now, right, if you continue down this road, right, and you keep trying in a direction that you're unhappy with, then you're going to spend the next 5 to 10 years unhappy. Right? This is a definite.
Yeah.
But the other one, there's uncertainty, ma.
She's hoping that the decision she make in the next couple of months, right, can be something she can look back in like 5-10 years later to say that, wow, at age 32, I did this. I quit, or I took a downgrade and I do this, and it changed my life for the better. Right? And
Via article.
I was telling her it doesn't really matter lah in that sense, because I feel like when you see, like I've gone through a lot of deaths in my life. Like since young, like, you know, I got like 3 undertakers contact on. So it's like when you see someone that has worked their whole life on a single track pass away, right, then you realize, right, you're just gonna be here for close to 100 years, and then after that nothing matters, eh? You can try and have a good time, or you want to leave a legacy behind for the next 300 years of your descendants. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that reframed my mind. And I think for my whole entire life, even the degree that I chose to take, right, was in banking and finance. Like, when I was young, it's always like, oh, where the money is. Always chase where the money is. Because I don't come from a very rich family. I come from a poor family, right? So it's always, I don't ever want to be like my parents, like where they have to make ends meet and they have to feed their 3 children. Sometimes she go and pawn her jewelry just to feed us. I want to make my parents proud. I want to give them a life where it will be different. So I always tell myself, okay, I must go into a banking industry. So I started in the bank. But then shortly after, I decided to go and teach. Because I also gave tuition before. Then the pay was better. So, okay, jump, go and teach. And then I think quarter life crisis came, I went to fly. It's like, I really try everything. It's not that I never try anything. And then I just keep thinking, oh, I must be stuck in banking. No, I try everything. Then I go and fly, right? Wow, that's the worst years of my life. Worst.
Why?
Like, really, before every flight, right, I cry. Because I cannot leave him. I cannot. Then when I'm sitting, like maybe my flight is at, really, I cannot. I feel like I'm missing a lot of fun. So like when I remember one day I was eating dinner, right? The flight was like maybe 9+1. At 7+ I need to get ready already. As I eat dinner, I crying. I watching TV, I crying. I start thinking about, people all coming home, I going out. And then this weekend, I don't get to meet him again.
You know, when they finish the training is expensive, right? Then so they bond you for a set amount of months, right? If you quit early, you must pay the bond. She broke her bond 1 week before her bond ended.
Is that bad? I
Still
cannot.
want to pay.
I rather pay. Cost few $100 only lah.
By then lah.
Very long ago, he keep telling me, not happy, just quit. He's always that kind, like, not happy, change lah. You know,
You
do
sound like
something
you
about it.
keep doing things that you don't really like.
I feel that.
She was a serial killer.
Don't know.
The fear of uncertainty cripples her more than the present. Even present fears, even present difficulties, and even present happiness. She chooses to worry about uncertainties of the future, which very much is a Singaporean thing, I do believe. Like, if you ask someone whether they're happy, right? Going back to your rating, and I say 6. I am happy, because 5 is neutral. 6 is happy. But in the Singapore standard, it's like 6! Are you okay or not? You know, is there anything I can do for you?
Like,
And
need
I feel
to
like
be 8, is it?
this insane pursuit of, like, in Singapore, average is 7. And 7 is A2. Right? 70% is A2.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, like, in this pursuit of excellence, right, I think she is broken. Very honestly.
I feel very bad because every time this topic comes about, right, his answer will always be, I will be happy if Pat's happy. Then I feel like because of my unhappiness, right, he's trying his best, to, like, he already provide whatever he can already. How come my wife is still not happy? Like, it's very, I don't
It's the
see it
sex.
Like,
It's the one thing that I cannot outsource.
I
argue.
you can.
What now?
Whoa!
No.
The problem
So we know
solved.
what's the
Problem
problem.
solved.
Okay.
Okay, I'm glad everything worked out lah. Whatever it takes, man.
Thanks for watching it today's episode.
Yeah. So when people ask me what makes you happy, now my answer is when my husband is happy. Like,
I am happy.
but you're,
Also, then now
not
you're
happy.
both happy, right? So
Yeah.
he
So
happy, you
easy,
happy, then you happy, she happy.
Yeah, but he gives me a lot of encouragement lah. I always thank his mother. Still again, thanks mom. Like, for raising such a good child, Like,
Oh, what the
I
heck? I'm
feel
keeping
like-
it.
I feel like
Hey John, anyone ever thank your mother?
I never
They
thank my
usually
mother.
just say your mother.
like without this support, I think I crumble already.
You think there's a lot of pretense in our life?
No,
Like, if we are not happy, why does social media make it seem like happiness?
not really. I feel that I hardly talk about work or like I don't think social media make us like we hardly post anything also.
Huh?
Huh? No lah, our
Yeah,
story
you
is just
do.
like talk about shit only what. Then photo is like Chinese New Year, Christmas, OTD. Okay what?
You're more than the average person.
The last time I posted a photo is 2020.
Oh.
Go follow Denise on Instagram.
Oh,
Get to see my photos from 2020, guys.
No lah, but I don't think we are pressured to post anything that kind.
I am.
Like we quarrel lor. Yeah, I think it's okay.
But how much are you responsible to share on social media anyway, given the nature that it already is, right?
Correct. I think we share a lot about our pregnancy journey lah. That one is very real. I feel that one is like to tell people what's going on. Like with your life also, you should go and get checked. Like not so about us lah.
So
how about y'all? Sorry,
Yeah.
can I throw the ball back to y'all? Are y'all happy? And what makes y'all happy/unhappy?
I caught the ball.
Hey, then you answer.
So
You look like a very happy person.
Usually these people are very broken one.
Yeah.
Okay, where do I begin?
Pull out the cigar.
Then you need to light for me. I would like to say that I think I practice what I preach, which is I would say I'm happy because I don't see I don't know what the metric is to say that I'm unhappy or what, because I don't really care. Like to me, happiness is not the end goal lor. Like if I look at my life, do I think that there are things that are meaningful? Yes. Do I feel like I'm forming meaningful connections? Yes. Do I feel like in my job, I'm doing things, I'm exploring things, I'm challenging myself? Yes. So then I feel like if all those fall in line, then it seems like my answer to am I happy should be yes. Yeah, but honestly, I don't care lah. Because that is not a metric that I look at ma. Yeah. Recently, even on TikTok, which you don't like, right? But okay, no. So I read something that's very interesting that I must tell you. I saved it for you for this episode.
Oh, thanks.
So
Don't thank her yet.
it basically says, just a reminder, you don't have to be in love with your job. Having a Monday to Friday 9 to 5 that is stable has more pros than you may realize. So everyone always says, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. But when you do what you love, then what you love becomes work. Don't ruin what makes you happy because you think it'll make you money.
I'm trying to take that out lor.
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
Oh no.
No thanks, Siri. No thanks.
If only you can, Siri.
Do you know that people who follow fitness accounts, right, are actually more unhappy with their bodies than the people who don't? So maybe you go and follow all these other things that make you more unhappy.
Yeah.
Because everybody's
It
like,
is
wow,
true,
I
it
already
is true.
understand life
Energy.
already, right?
Yeah.
No, so the study of psych has also concluded, right, that the seeking of happiness has made people less happy. Because in the seeking of happiness, you just realize that you will never be happy. And therefore, you just make it happy.
No, but I used to be a very happy person. Y'all must know that. Maybe I don't know y'all back then yet. I'm very happy one. That's why I'm very upset that I'm so unhappy now.
What changed? As in what?
I think after SQ SQ broke me.
Yeah.
But it happens, okay, like for me, right, I think I got very lucky at the start because I rode this very big high with TSL, right, as it was
Okay, Pat, you
blowing
get
up.
ready your compliments.
And then,
Wow, I love
okay,
TSL last time.
yeah.
Especially when you stay inside.
I'm ready to receive. So, so I rode that high, and then I think about 2 to 3 years in, it was when it kind of hit me, I started to feel imposter syndrome. I started to feel like, how come life so easy? I already cheat the system, decent pay, getting all the exposure I want, and then I just make whatever shit random videos, or hundreds of thousands of views. Okay,
Well, he's really telling us he's very good at what he do.
No. No, it's
Which
really
one?
not. It's really not. So then after that, I started to feel the imposter syndrome, and then it took me a couple of years to realize that, there's so much more complexity to life, right? I think this just comes with growing up, lah. And with the complexity, then you start to understand that there's so much more you need to learn. Yeah, there's so much more nuances, and life is not just that simple. And there are two ways it can go, ma. You can be very positive, you take that on, and then you chiong again, right? Or it can punch you in the gut a bit, lah. And then after you're like, oh, then what am I going to do now, right? Yeah. So it actually took me quite a while to I was constantly trying to prove myself, prove to myself that I can do this again, I can repeat the success, and that I'm not a fraud or whatever kind of thing. And then after a while, right, then I started to realize that there's so many things that are out of my control. And then I think there was this line that I read somewhere, which is that change the things that you can and accept the things that you can't, or something like that, right? Yeah, and it took me very, very long to learn that. And then once I did, I started to really take back control of my own life. I started using my time to grow in the ways that I wanted to. And then don't waste my time thinking about also other shit that is pointless. Yeah, I think that one very important.
So would you say you're satisfied with life?
Still no. Because I feel like I took a very long time to learn this.
Right.
Yeah. And then now I'm trying to play catch up. Yeah.
Catching up to what? What is the state?
I know where I can be, so it's just a matter of getting there. Yeah.
Right.
So that until I get there, I'm just a bit I'm still not very happy lah. But I'm not striving. It's not about happiness for me.
Yeah.
It's about accomplishment, and I'm not suffering on this journey. I'm enjoying the journey as I go along it. Yeah,
Right.
because I also don't know where it's going to take me.
Yeah, like I was just gonna ask, like, can you not be happy on the way there? Like, must it be if only I did this, right, then I'll be happy. If only I did this, then I'll be happy.
Yep. But it's so much. It's about learning about yourself. I feel like then you suddenly realize, oh, I'm not as disciplined as I could be, or as I want to be. And then you push, or then you realize, oh, now I'm starting to reap the benefits of something that I didn't even notice, like that I was putting in the work to progress in. Yeah, and then it's like challenge is another thing that you can feel. Yeah, and overcoming those challenges, another thing you can feel. Yeah, or making mistakes. It's fine. Right?
I think he has very high perseverance on it. Like when you
That one
started,
was for you.
no, when you started
Almost couldn't
skipping,
recognize it.
Bump her leg only straight away know that shit.
Do you think the root of it, I mean, of your kind of unhappiness or your quarter life crisis is
I'm very
comparison?
fickle. Maybe.
Yeah.
Like you see what
Maybe,
he
yes.
have, right? Then it looks like this is making him happy. Then you buy and you try whether that can make you happy, but then it doesn't. When you look at like your friend's life, for example, then you feel like that's what makes them happy. Then you feel like maybe doing the same will also make you happy.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think tying it back to what the question that John asked you just now, right? Like, are you actually doing things that you feel like makes you happy?
I don't know what.
Or like that are meaningful to you personally? I feel like you're not looking there.
Maybe that's why now I need to relook at my life, and I
So
just
quit your job, then you can look at your life for 3 months.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Denise.
He has been repeating.
Okay,
to
later
me
John
about
give it a
this.
$50 you, bro.
Done.
I think that's the solution that most people told me lah. But again, right, I have the option. I have the option to just leave and do it, but I don't know why I cannot. Like my previous job, right, I was very unhappy at the onset, maybe at the 6 months already. But at that 6 month mark, he will tell me, quit your job. He said, I can tell you're very unhappy.
Yeah, when any of you all resign, I'm like,
Yeah, but I tong until 1 year. Cause I tell myself I must hit that 1 year. I don't know, it's maybe I'm 神经病,
I hate it when my friends do that.
No.
I really hate it.
Why?
It's like you thanking for fuck's sake. You don't like the place. The place is also like they're not giving you anything of value. Then you just want to tahan because other people are going to think that means anything. No,
Yeah.
what?
No, but I keep thinking of like myself. I'm not so weta lah. I think of myself and a bit of everyone else, right? I'm like, actually I can tahan what. At the end of the day, I'm being paid like quite well. Like why am I fussing over? Everybody also have a job, but everybody also not very entirely happy. Why must I so privileged feel so happy? Yeah, so I tell myself, okay, tong, just tahan a bit more. But this time round, I think I'm a bit jaded, and he. Like one day, out of the blue, I just asked him, I say, hey, like, are you happy with your life? Like really, watching TV, right? I just asked him, then he said no. I said, why? Because you're not happy, quit your job.
oh, you come back again.
I just like burst out crying cause out of nowhere we never even thought about this at all. So maybe like the first few months only. Then I realized that people around me can also sense that I'm not happy. I went to meet my ex-colleagues, right? When I start telling them my problem, right? They say, you changed. They say, you are very unhappy, we can tell.
I would have thought that your answer would be that you are afraid that you don't know what is next also. But then yours is the other way around.
Actually, for a guy that's working his second job for 4 years plus, right? I find it like she have the balls to change job, change industry.
Oh.
No, I find it very admirable.
Yikes.
Like I feel like most of y'all here haven't quit because y'all just might be uncomfortable with having to win someone over in an interview and having to make new friends. I mean, it's not necessarily that you're hitting and you want to quit, right? It could just be meeting new people or trying new things or just trying to get higher salary lah, right? Jumping around is the best way to improve your salary. That is known. Yeah, so I feel like many people in this company that work beyond 2 years are only here because they are uncomfortable to meet new people and trying to impress a new boss again. But she doesn't have that problem.
But I always come to this office and feel very happy working here. Every time I go back, right, I'll be like, hey, your office so fun one. Like everybody like laughing, and then like in the early days before COVID, play music, and then they have karaoke session. Then I'm like, wow, why so good one? I've never had this kind of bonding outing before.
Before COVID.
Before COVID. Like, yeah. So like I don't know lah. Maybe all of you are not very happy lah. I don't know lah. But everybody does feel very happy.
No, I'll tell you something that I'm very embarrassed to admit. Nobody's payroll here is good for them to continue with this salary until they are 50.
Nobody payroll starting out at 20 plus is good to carry until 50 though.
No, but you look at where her industry is. Like if I get this salary at this young age, right? I don't mind my because your salary will be like that, right? Work salary and just need one, right? You just go up, it picks out and then it starts declining, right? Yeah, and if you're getting the high early, then you just ride the high all the way to the end. Yeah, I'm talking about numbers like, don't say, where it's sufficient, like people can retire off this. Yeah.
But then does that not go back to like how happy I am at work equates to how much income I'm getting? Which I would say for a lot of people here that might not be the case lah.
True.
Yeah.
No lah, but then real life sets in what? Like my previous company, I was rather happy there. Rather lah. Yeah. I was not quitting because my boss don't acknowledge me or what. It's just life set, need to buy a ring, cannot afford a ring, change job.
Okay, so Pat, what role you want here?
I want
Happiness officer.
HR. Actually, I'm going HR, but I never study HR.
No need study one.
I have an A-level
job,
cert.
anyhow hire one.
No, I tell you, recently, so I got start looking for jobs lah. I go and find HR all that, right? Minimum 5 year HR. Then you must have degree or whatever in HR. Need to study one.
No, you go and do one skills future free course, right? 3 months. Then you just can. I know how to do. Can
I want to take a break. I think taking a break will help me to just find back my footing. And these 3 months, I feel that won't make a dent or like stop me from
Won't derail your life lah.
Yeah, I hope you won't.
I do want to
derail my
say
life.
this though, that we acknowledge that she's speaking from a position of privilege, like huge privilege.
Yes, I'm very privileged.
There are many people that cannot afford to quit their job but are basically unhappy at their job. And there are many other solutions than quitting. Because you go to the other place, I mean the structure of it is the same. You get a boss, your boss not bad, right?
Yeah, he's a good boss.
You got good colleagues. Yeah, it's just everything's in Mandarin lah, so it's very hard for her. Yeah, it's in mainland Mandarin. Her Chinese good one, like in my circle, her Chinese tip top one.
No, not
but it doesn't say much lah, cause it's in my circle.
Yeah,
and like you go to another place, you are rolling the dice on salary package, you're rolling the dice on benefits, rolling the dice on boss, and rolling dice on colleagues. But right now, you are already getting good results on most of your dice roll in this current company. Yeah, so it's hard to say. I mean, there are many people that try and like feel that they are unhappy at their job only because, unlike Pat, they cannot afford to quit their job. Yeah, but there are many other ways to seek fulfillment.
Okay, everybody, thank you for watching. I hope that you have some good takeaway from today, which is that happiness may or may not be the end goal. I mean, I believe it isn't. He believes it isn't. I think what really matters, right, is finding what is meaningful to you. So you can put it down in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.